Thanks for tuning in. Got something cool today. I'm sure if you found this video, you're looking at getting one of these. A decked system for your vehicle. In my case, it is a 2017 F150. And this is going to be my initial thoughts. A quick overview of the installation process, because full disclosure, I've already put it together, had it in the truck to make sure everything I needed came with the kit. And I'm taking it back out to finish the installation process, and I will give you a few more details about why I have to do that. In the instructions, they mention heavily that you should go watch their video on YouTube, so I would encourage you to do that. You will notice that their video does not mention anything about washers whatsoever. Neither do their printed instructions. Now, when I finished up everything, I had an unopened bag of washers that weren't used. Now, the engineer in me says, you did something wrong. Go back, check the instructions, and redo your work. So I went back through, checked the instructions, decided I should watch the video. No mention of washers whatsoever. So, here's my dilemma whether or not to put washers in. I called the support number on their website Friday at 2 o'clock. And they answered within one ring. So kudos to the DECKED team for having an awesome installation support line. That's almost unheard of nowadays. You have to go through some automated system and wait 20 minutes before you actually talk to someone now. These guys know what they're doing. After talking with the tech support guy, he told me that these washers were put in after the fact, and the installation instructions were just not updated yet. Okay, that's fair. And he told me where to use them, how to use them, and it's also completely optional to use them. You do not have to use them. I'm a little OCD. Some of you watching the channel may know me personally, and you know that I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to put washers exactly where they're supposed to be. So, we'll go over all of that today, and hopefully you'll come along for the ride. And when we're all done, I'll give you my initial thoughts, and I'll probably follow this video up in a few months after I have some use out of it, and let you know how it's holding up. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. One more quick thing. The instructions say not to use power tools. The video online, however, says they know you'll use power tools, which I think all of you can agree. If there's an option to use a power tool instead of hand tools, we're going to take it. That's just kind of common sense, but it is what it is. If you have an adjustable chuck on your drill, drop it down to 5, 4 or 5, somewhere in there. You do not want a lot of torque on these. The recommended torque on all of the bolts in this entire system is 27 inch-pounds, which is almost nothing. So leave it down 4 or 5, somewhere in there. That way you don't strip out the plastic, you don't strip out the inserts, and make yourself have a bad day. water in it. Ultimately, these are not waterproof. See if I can bring you guys around here. Take a look. So, when these are shipped, these holes are not drilled. There are dimples to help guide the drill bit, which is a nice little touch. They tell you in the instructions that these ammo boxes as a whole are not waterproof from water seeping in from the top. There's no seal. So if you take a look at the top side, you'll notice nothing is sealed. There's no kind of gasket or anything like that. Nothing to prevent water from running down inside, except for this lip. And this lip does a pretty decent job, but it's not going to stop major runoff or downpour. So don't put anything in these ammo boxes that you are not okay with getting wet. For me, that includes like tie down straps, any kind of chain, locking pulleys, hasps, that kind of stuff. Anything that you're okay with getting wet, you can put in the ammo boxes. Everything that you're not okay getting wet needs to go in the drawers. So I've got one down, I've got 3 more to go. I'll check back in with you once we're done with those other 3. It is humid out here. Sun came out. So, got all 4 ammo boxes with the nylon washers and the rubber washers. Went ahead and did the C-frame rails too. While we're at this point, I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like to do the installation from directly out of the box. The first step is to grab 2 of the ammo boxes and connect them with a C channel. So if you look on the back side right here, there's your C channel. What you'll do is you'll set your ammo boxes on the ground, put the C channel on the ammo boxes, tighten those bolts down. So you'll end up with 2 ammo boxes connected by C channel that you lay your platform on top of. Duplicate this for the driver's side and the passenger side. And at that point you can connect 1/2 to the center bar. Coming out?
Is that okay?
Yeah. Come here, man. Here, bud. Unlock the tripods. Good puppy.
Yeah, I
got it.
Did I move my plug out far down or did you?
I did.
Okay.
So once you get it connected to the center bar, you can put 1/2 of it in the truck, and you'll usually probably won't need help. Box says to have help. I found that it's not that heavy. It's just kind of awkward to try and manipulate. That's all. Look. You gonna help me lift this thing?
Am I? Sure.
I was talking to the dog.
Oh.
Alright, we're going to take a little break while the wife cleans her car out, and then I'll come back when we're done. Alright, so at this point we are 75% done with the installation. Give you guys a little look here. So you have the center rail and the driver's side deck with the ammo cans all mounted together. The decking is screwed to the center rail. What you want to do is make sure that there's no cant or angle here, right? Doesn't have to be perfect yet, but it can't be canted off to the side like that. So make sure that's straight. After you get the passenger side deck attached, and you attach your J hooks on the end, and that's specific for my truck, I think. That's when you start working on centering up the deck itself. So, with that being said, I'll get the other deck installed, get it tightened down, and then I'll go over how the J hooks work. Alright, so we have our J hooks installed. Both halves of the deck are there. J hooks are installed on the corners. I don't know if you can see that really well. They tie into the factory tie downs. At this point, the next step is to put in the drawers. Now, as I said earlier, I've already put this together, then taken it back apart to do some fine tuning and to handle the washer issue. The drawers come, for the most part, pre-assembled. There's some brackets that have to be installed in the corners, a cross brace, and then of course the bearings and wheels. I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to take that back apart to show you how that works, but if you do end up ordering the kit, the instructions are very thorough and it's pretty straightforward. The most difficult part is putting in the second set of roller wheels that go on these shafts here, and you have to do that after the drawer is in. The best thing I've found to use to wedge the drawer up is one of the ammo can lids. They work great for that purpose. So I will set the camera off to the side and show you how the drawers go in. Then we'll do the accessories. So there's a metal plate that goes here, a metal plate that goes here, and a cross brace that runs across the bottom. Those are the last steps before it's all said and done. I'll check back in with you in just a few minutes. Center shaft with a bearing goes to the bottom hex head. Drawer stops work. Easy. I am planning on ordering the locks for the actual drawers themselves, so I'll do a separate video on that once they get in. The the drawers come with no accessories whatsoever. There's different dividers you can buy. There's boxes you can buy to put in there. I'm planning on ordering a few of those sets of dividers, and I'll be modifying those to hold a few of my rifles upright. So when I'm hunting or if I'm going to the range and I only want to take one or two rifles, I can fit them in here vertically. Haven't checked the depth yet, so we'll see how that works. And I may have to reevaluate that. There are some companies out there, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, that do sell foam inserts for these that you can hot wire cut, or they can cut for you. For me, that's just not practical. I can't dedicate one of these drawers to my rifles at all times. I'm planning on doing a lot of hunting, hiking, camping, a lot of outdoor stuff. obviously, with this system. So I can't justify dedicating an entire drawer to just rifles. I won't always have them with me. It just is what it is. Your mileage may vary. If you're only going to use it for range trips, like a ranch truck, farm truck, something like that, where you can dedicate one drawer to just your weapons, then go for it. By all means, I'll see if I can't remember the name of the company and put a link in the description for the company that makes the foam inserts. The same company also makes foam inserts for the D boxes and the cross boxes that fit in these drawers. That I will look into. Just depends on if I can figure out a way to do it cheaper. I think the concept's great. I think the idea is great. I just, from looking at the prices, the foam inserts for the boxes themselves just seem a little high. I think I can do better on my own. So I'll do a separate video on that. I'm already doing some hot wire cutting on foam inserts for a backpack, an older backpack that I have that I'm converting into a camera bag. But yeah, that'll be a separate video as well. Anyway, I will check back in with you in a few more minutes. I'm going to get the other drawer installed, and then we'll start working on the accessories, and we'll go from there. Okay, so second drawer's in, functioning well. Now we've got to install the cross brace across the bottom. The bottle opener, and then the decked rail across the top, and a nice little ruler, bolt sizes. Not sure how practical that's going to be, but we'll see. Either way, it ties the two halves together on the top and makes kind of a cleaner look across the back. So now that I've installed it at least one time, 2 times now, this can be done in about 2 to 3 hours. Unboxing and everything. When I ordered it, it got delivered on a pallet, big box. Probably about the dimensions of half of what's in the bed here. Twice as tall. My initial thoughts are, I like the system. I'm anxious to get some use on it, to get some wear and tear, and see if it still functions as smoothly. This is a fairly new truck. It's never been wrecked. The bed's never been tweaked. So I don't know. Some of you might have older trucks, older vans. I don't know how difficult it would be once the truck's been wrecked if they didn't straighten out the tailgate the right way, that kind of stuff. Just something to consider. Fit and finish, there's not almost no gap whatsoever, maybe 1/4 of an inch at the largest spots. I'll take you in close here so you can see right here on the tailgate where the deck system meets the side of the truck. I can barely get a finger in here. So, just food for thought. These are things that my OCD self tries to think about before I order something. It's going in the truck permanently. Nowhere in the instructions does it say to measure out anything, but what I like to do, at least this second go around, is I grab my tape and I just checked this center line here to the edge of the bed, which is 30 inches, and it matched on the other side. So I just tweaked my J-hooks a little bit until I got it to match. That's it. We're going to Florida for a fishing trip next week or the week after, and we'll be taking this truck loaded up. So should have a good amount of highway miles on it at that point, and we'll see when I get back. I'll measure it again to see how much it shifted, if any. So for me, the most difficult part of the installation, and your mileage may vary on that one too, depending on what kind of bed liner you have. But for me, this was factory, rhino lined from the factory, or the spray-in bed liner from the factory, whatever brand it is. And in order to get the front brackets put in, I had to remove the factory tie downs and then cut out a larger square. It's probably 2.5 by 2.5 square for a gasket, and then a mounting bracket for the front part. Now, that was the hardest part for me because it's a very tight corner trying to make a cut with a razor blade. Factory bed liner is top notch because I ended up having to break out the chisel and the hammer to try and clean up the corners to get that in. I'll probably go back through, if I ever have to take this back out, I'll probably go back through and plasti dip or maybe spray rattle can the spot behind it. When the factory bed cover came off, where I peeled it off, it took some of the paint with it. So now a rubber gasket went on top of that, so I'm not too worried about it, and it is aluminum, so it's not going to corrode too bad. Little things like that. The switch for the truck bed lights is still easily accessible. I can get my hand right in there, right to the switch, so that's not going to be a problem. So other than that, I'm really happy with it, and I'll give you guys an update when we get back from Florida, see if it shifted at all, and then I'll hopefully do another update video maybe 8 months from now, once it has some good wear and tear on it. One thing I can think of that's probably going to be slightly problematic is deer season's coming up, and I don't have a cover on my bed anymore. So if I do end up getting one and I have to haul it, it is definitely going to be visible out of the edge of the truck bed. Some people don't care. I'm one of those folks that I'll probably throw a tarp over it just to avoid any headaches that may come from someone seeing that or some child seeing it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll try to answer any questions that I can. In the description, I'll try and put all the dimensions. I'll actually measure out the shipping package, that kind of stuff. And I'll try and put links to the foam inserts and the accessories that I'm going to order and modify. All right, see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.